Good day, Daytona. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We've got a fun episode for you. Actually, this is going to be more of a kind of a meet and greet, and it's about our election. So we've got 3 Volusia County residents that are running for the county's at-large position. Heather Post originally was running for that. She dropped out, and so now we've got 3 people. We've got Jake Johansson, who we've already had on the show this morning. Joining me is Sharice Boyd and Doug Pettit. They are the 2 other candidates that are running for this at-large seat. So they are joining me this morning. We are going to find out a little bit about them. So Doug, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background? What qualifies you?
I am a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel. I did 26 years in the Marine Corps, combined active duty and reserve duty. I did 15 years as a teacher. So I got out of the Marine Corps, and let's find something else to do that is challenging, and I go into teaching. So
and high school at that. You taught high school, right?
I taught high school. I started in Seminole County. I came to Volusia in 2007, and I've been around a variety of areas of the county. I've taught at Taylor up in Pearson, primarily agricultural area. I've taught at Pine Ridge. I've been at New Smyrna Beach. I was at Seabreeze. People say, well, you can't keep a job. Well, I coach football. And those moves, in many cases, were people that I knew that were coaching that asked me to come coach with them and be on their staff. So a lot of it, but it gave me a good ability to get into diverse areas of the county and see what was going on in the county. So I'm just a guy that has never been in politics before, never had any aspirations for politics. What I did tell people was you need to get involved. I constantly preach to people, you need to get involved. You need to get off the couch. You need to get out from your comfort zone and go out and become involved. And so I can't preach that and not live it. And so, this chance to replace the county council came up, and I said, I'm going to make a run at this, even though it's a long shot, and I'm not favored, and I certainly don't have any connection to anybody or any money background, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see if a guy that was sitting on his couch 3 weeks ago watching Jeopardy at 7 o'clock at night can get up and run for county council and make something happen as a voice for the citizens.
So why the at-large seat? Why starting with such a big one your first time into the government foray?
Well, I just thought, well, again, that Heather Post was going to run and withdrew, and so I saw that as a spot that you can affect the entire county if you're in that position there, and I thought a voice for the citizens needed to be there for the entire county. You can affect small areas of the county, and there are other people running for those small areas of the county, but I thought this was a chance for me to get out and impact the entire county and impact some of the things that were going on in areas of the county that I've been in and seen. My interest in the county starts in 2008, and it starts in a sort of unusual way. I carry this binder with me, and I have 3 things in there. I have a notepad because I want to take notes. My first part of my campaign has been really about listening to people, and I want to get around, and I've reached out to different community organizations and different people, and I want to go and take notes. I want to find out what's important to them, what's their perspective. And
what is important to them? What are you hearing so far?
What I'm hearing for them is they don't want any taxes. And I understand that completely, that they don't want to continue to be burdened with taxes to fund some of the things that we're doing. They don't want the sales tax. They want the development to be controlled. To go out here and look anywhere in the county, it is heartbreaking. I ride a motorcycle, and I'm around the county all over the place, and it's heartbreaking to go and watch the woods and the wildlife and the wetland areas being destroyed for development. I'm not against development. I think people need to make money. There needs to be building. There needs to be houses, but it needs to be controlled far better than this. At this point right now, it's just been the Wild West show. It looks like the Oklahoma land rush. People just pouring across the border or pouring in, and we're not controlling it. And I think protecting the water. I just was at a movie this past weekend, a documentary, and people in Florida, and you people in your listening audience, you need to get aware of what's going on with the water. It is frightening.
What was the name of that documentary?
It was called Fellowship of the Springs.
Is that the one that Jeff Brower?
Yeah.
Yes.
He promoted that.
We actually are going to have Jeff and the documentarian hopefully on the show. I heard it was fantastic.
It was unbelievable, and it really, again, as a person that's just getting into this and learning about the different issues, it wasn't something that I really knew a lot about. I knew that, water, everybody talks about water and you see water show up in the different newspapers and things like that. But this thing was stunning. It was stunning, the amount of water being taken out of the ground, the way we're impacting our aquifer, the way we're destroying our filtering system in the wetlands. The springs that have been in Florida for hundreds of years are gone. They're dead. Now, there's some chance to recover some of them, but some of them are gone forever.
Okay.
And so there are just issues associated with our water. And I'm going to tell you something. If we don't get the water situation figured out in this state, none of the other issues are going to matter.
It doesn't matter. You're exactly right. So I was talking to Mayor Derek Henry. This was when that announcement was made about the new development that they had approved, the new apartments down by the water that they're building on Beach Street. And I said, oh, great new housing. I was like, is this going to be affordable? And he said, people will be able to afford it, but it won't be affordable housing. And and I just was like, we keep talking about, we're having these affordable housing committees and affordable housing meetings and affordable housing councils. How many years of meetings and councils do you need before you act on something? And I'm not saying just Daytona Beach. I mean statewide. I mean nationwide.
Well, I think part of it is that the development has been allowed to happen without any regard to affordable housing.
Exactly.
So the horse is already out of the barn on that. The question we got to do is what can we do going forward to fix this problem? And I think, just in my opinion, that one of the conditions of changing zoning permits or allowing zoning permits should be that any developer that comes in from this point forward has to allot a certain amount of his development for affordable housing. I want that family to have a home to live in. I want them to become invested in the community. I want that young person that wants to get started in housing to be able to have that ability. So we need to be able to find ways to do that. And I think one of the ways is to begin to put the onus on the developers to provide some of that. They talked this morning in an article that appeared about the affordable housing issue about grants to nonprofit and profitable developers for developing affordable housing. I said, great, grants to a nonprofit is wonderful. That's great, and I think I would support something like that if I got to know more of the details. But why am I going to give more money to a developer that's making money hand over fist to do the right thing, to provide some affordable housing as part of their development? So that's part of what I would do.
All right. Well, we only have a couple minutes left. I'm going to let each of you take, about a minute each. And if you guys just want to wrap up why you think you're going to be the best candidate.
Well, I think one of the things that I've tried to do, again, I'm a non-politician. I haven't been involved in this before. I had no aspirations to run for political office until recently, but I've taken it seriously. I think that I want to restore trust in government. I think that's important. I think you do that by demonstrating accountability in government, by demonstrating prioritization of needs. I don't think we prioritize our needs right now. I agree with you. I think we're taking tax money in and we're not spending it wisely or efficiently. Let's find out about that before we put more burden on our taxpayers. So I'm not a tax person for right now. 4 years from now, if I ran again, I might not be able to make that pledge, but I can make it today because I don't think we're doing what we do well with our tax money. We have to control the development in whatever means necessary, and I don't think that means stopping development. You're never going to stop development, but we have to get a handle on what we're doing, and we have to protect the environment and the water. As I said earlier, if we don't get a handle on what's going on with our water, none of these other things will matter.
All right. So we are going to end it with that now. Doug, I appreciate you being here